The Musikding D Factory is based on the well-known Fuzz machine, the CVEX Fuzz Factory. Maybe there are some differences to the original I don't know about, but it seems like a pretty straight clone. I'm going to be demonstrating it through a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, recorded with a Red 5 RVD9 dynamic microphone straight in front of the speaker, combined with a couple of impulse responses. I'm going to be using a 1989 Fender USA Stratocaster Plus. The controls on this unit are a little more involved than most Fuzzes. Volume and drive are pretty self-explanatory, but the interactions between the other control knobs get pretty complicated. The gate knob will remove noise after your sustain reaches a certain point, as well as allowing you to get a really precise attack at the moment you hit the strings, rather than including slide or finger noises. Depending on the setting of the other knobs, turning it too low will result in something you'll encounter quite often while messing around with this pedal: squealing feedback. The compression knob seems straightforward, compressing your signal more and more as you turn it up, yet at the last 10% or so of the turn, it pinches the tone into a sort of interesting sputtery fuzz tone, negating your drive setting. The stab, or stability knob, simulates a dying battery type sound. With it turned completely up, it doesn't starve the circuit at all, functioning as a semi-regular fuzz. At lower settings, it interacts with the other knobs in odd and sometimes unexpected ways, allowing you to, for instance, dial in a feedback pitch, combined with the compression knob. It also functions as a sort of tone knob, removing some highs as you turn it down. To best demonstrate the effects of the other knobs, it would have been best to just keep the stability up to max for most of this video. At the time when I recorded the guitar playing part of this video though, I was not aware of this. Since I did not change the settings of the stab knob whilst demonstrating the other knobs, I still feel like the demonstration is pretty representative of what the various knobs do, but I figured I'd at least mention it. Now first, here's my clean tone. Now with the pedal engaged with most settings at noon, and the gate and compression adjusted to eliminate feedback. And now first, with the compression knob fully turned down. Now with the compression turned up quite high and the gate adjusted as well, you get a pretty cool Velcro-y fuzz tone. Now in a similar setting, but with the gate turned up a little more, you start to lose some of the extraneous noise. And now with the gate turned up even higher. Though it's not likely you're going to be using a setting like this, first we're going to check out the drive fully turned down. Now with the drive turned up to 3 o'clock. And turning it up fully first gives you this. But after adjusting the compression, we're back in usable territory. The stability knob affects the other controls quite a bit as well, but I wouldn't know how to demonstrate that effectively, let alone succinctly. So for this video, I'll demonstrate the knob's effects by itself. First, the stability knob fully turned down. Now turning it up to 11 o'clock or so. And up a little further to 2 o'clock. Now as you turn the knob up fully, you can hear the effect of the voltage sag wearing off. So here it is at full stability. And though I haven't found a personal use for it, I figured I'd demonstrate it. The knob affects the feedback pitch. I'm sure there are quite a few mods floating around for this one on the web, but the documentation didn't list any, and I just kinda stuck with the listed bill of materials. The build itself was nothing but smooth sailing. The PCB is incredibly small. If it weren't for the load of potentiometers this build requires, I might have opted for a smaller enclosure. But I also found it kind of fun to go for a look similar to the original CFX unit, with the original orientation of the pedal. So I eventually opted for the 125B style enclosure. If you're not a big fan of off-board wiring, this might not be a fun build for you. There's quite a bit of that to do with the potentiometers, and obviously nothing is board mounted.